Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Root Sports brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today it's the finale of this road trip. The Houston Astros meet the Minnesota Twins. Good afternoon, everybody. Another gorgeous day in Minnesota for Bill Brown, Jeff Blum, and Julia Morales, who joins us in just a few moments. And the Astros had a nice win last night, Blummer.
Yeah, it was a beautiful win. Pitching again from Mike Fiers, held up nicely, but allowed time for that offense to come in there and put a big spot on Pelfrey and knock him out early.
Let's go back to the last series at home. The Astros faced this daunting series of games against the first-place Dodgers. They swept them. Against the first-place Yankees, they won 2 of 3. And now against the contending Twins. And notice that they were shut out in that first game at Yankee Stadium. They were shut out in the first game here at Target Field. And yet they got the rubber game at Yankee Stadium, and they're trying to do that again here.
No, they're doing a great job, and what they're doing is playing very well against teams that are above 500. These are all contending teams, and this was a real test this late in the season for the Houston Astros, but I give all the credit. There has been timely hitting, but I give a lot of the credit to the pitching staff, keeping these guys in games. Even with those shutouts, they pitched well, kept those runs down, giving them the opportunity. But what they've done of late is getting a lot of base hits, a lot of timely hitting. I know the average at 257 isn't much, but still, for these guys who rely on the home run, are doing a good job of getting runners on base and getting those timely hits. So that runners with scoring in position, average is going up. Good signs for the Houston Astros. Being able to win ball games, take advantage of that good pitching, and not relying on that big 3-run home run they normally do.
They have scratched out some runs recently, and today they'll face Irvin Santana, who has not won at home as a Twin. Lance McCullers goes for Houston.
Yeah, this is a good matchup. Irvin Santana is a guy that can be good hitting for these Houston Astros, who are swinging good bats right now. But Lance McCullers, since coming back after getting that rest, has been dominating. You see the 7 innings he pitched right here with the 8 hits given up. But what I like is that great big goose egg underneath that walks right there. No walks for Lance McCullers is a good thing. That tells me he's quite effective with his fastball, setting guys up to go to that breaking ball late in counts to get those 8 punch-outs. We know he's a high strikeout guy, high-intensity guy. Expect him to come out here and do the same thing with that electric fastball, curveball combination.
Coming up, road reversal. New York and Minneapolis have been just what the Astros needed to reverse their fortunes on the road. Can they finish off the Twins and get their first winning road trip since mid-June? We'll find out in just a few minutes. presented by USAA, proudly serving the needs of the military community for over 90 years. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Coming up, power players. It's been business as usual for Jose Altuve, but the Astros have had plenty of other heroes on the road trip. Which hitter has done the most heavy lifting this week? You'll get a chance to join the debate with Julia coming up.
Twins get set for Game 3 of this 3-game set. Not too far from this ballpark, the Minnesota State Fair is going on, and we know about fairs in Texas, don't we? Talk about fried food. Well, check this out right here. I've got cheese curds, the pork chop on a stick. I hear everything's on a stick in Minnesota, and I'm willing to try it in the walleye. Those are 3 that you can get right here at the ballpark, where the Astros look to continue their winning ways on this road trip. They've changed that a little bit after some tough road trips in the past. They look to take this series today. A couple of players who have helped this team win. We look at them now, our TXU Energy Power players of the game. There's a couple of them. We start with Evan Gaddis, who's really shown the power this series as he's hit a couple of home runs, won a long way against the New York Yankees. He had 2 in 1 game, so good to see him get going. Also, Marwin Gonzalez with a home run. He's really picked it up lately on a 4-game streak, filling in for Carlos Correa at shortstop, doing a nice job. And then Luis Valbuena, who looks much better at the plate this month, has the highest OBP on the team in the month of August. He had a big 2-run double in last night's game. We've seen him shoot the ball the other way. So we want to ask you, who is the TXU Energy Power player of the road trip so far? You saw Evan Gattis, the numbers on his road trip, 368 with those 3 homers, 7 RBI, leading the team in ribbies. Margot, 318 with the homer, and then Valbuena, 294, 4 ribbies, and 3 runs scored, getting those walks as well. So we look to see some of those guys today in this one, but I am looking to dig into some fried food because that's what it's all about, guys.
Welcome back to Astros baseball here. The finale of this road trip. A gorgeous day here at Target Field in Minneapolis, and the sun is out. Temperature is just perfect. Nice Sunday crowd to watch the Astros and the Twins. And the Astros head home to begin a 6-game homestand tomorrow night against Seattle, with Dallas Keuchel pitching against the Mariners. So the Astros continue to press it. They have won 8 of their last 11. For the 5th time this year. They're 14 games over 500. They've never been 15 over this season. 3-2 on this road trip, and with some really outstanding baseball, including Jose Altuve and his clutch hitting. 4-game hitting streak for Altuve. He's hitting balls everywhere in the month of August. 345, Lummer.
Yeah, kind of getting back to normal. Been at the top of that lineup since Springer's been out, doing a great job. We know he's not going to take a lot of walks. That's why the on-base percentage isn't that much higher than that batting average. He is going to go up there and hack like crazy, trying to swing his way on base. You got to appreciate that about the young man. And if he was hitting about 245, we'd all be complaining. But the fact he's hitting 345 with that stick is why you want him to go out there and keep being aggressive with that bat and swinging it, leading these Astros on this road trip.
So the lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For the Astros, last year's batting champion Jose Altuve is the leadoff man and second baseman. It's Marwin Gonzalez at shortstop. Evan Gattis batting third as the DH. The cleanup man is right fielder Colby Rasmus, with Carlos Gomez, the former Twin, in center field. Luis Valbuena at third base. Chris Carter at first base. Hank Conger, the catcher, and Jake Marisnick batting ninth in left field.
Irvin Santana, the right-hander, going for the Minnesota Twins, signed a big 4-year, $54 million contract to come here. He has only made 10 starts. This will be his 11th, and if you're wondering why he only has 11, it's because he had an 80-game suspension to start this season. So here he is, 2 career starts against the Astros, 1-0 record, 3.95, but that number on the bottom is the one you got to pay attention to. Is 3 starts at home, a 9.77 ERA. Fastball, slider, split finger. That split fingers have been getting hammered. 455 batting average against that split-fingered fastball.
He's won 121 games in his career. Now Altuve's in the box. He's third in the league in hits. 309 batting average, 10 homers. Ground ball up the middle, and there's another hit. Number 155 for Altuve on the first pitch of the game, taking his hitting streak to 5 games.
His attention span at the plate is very minimal. But when it ends up being a knock every time, when we saw the numbers, 345 here in recent days, Go ahead and swing it, Jose.
He's aboard for Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez has a 4-game hitting streak, 74 degrees at game time. 268 for Marwin, 9 homers, 31 runs batted in. Marwin's had a nice road trip, hitting .318 with a homer and 3 runs batted in. Bunts it in the air, foul, and it is just right near the Twins dugout for the catcher Herman. Tough to get out of that chute. Chris Herman doing the catching today. He's a native of Tomball, Texas. And a strike one to Marwin. He's had some big hits here in the month of August for the Astros, including a game-tying RBI single in the 9th last Sunday against the Dodgers. Since June 14th, he's been a .316 hitter with 7 doubles, a triple, 7 homers, and an .883 OPS for Marwin. He swings at a high pitch, and it's 0-2 for Santana. You mentioned that Santana, Jeff, served an 80-game suspension, tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug, and that news was made known to everybody on the Friday before opening day. Twins struggle coming out of the gate after that.
Yeah, that's not good timing at all.
No. After signing that 4-year deal you talked about, that threw a lot of cold water on the arrival of Ervin Santana. He's 32 years old, began his career with the Angels, and has 121 wins, 104 losses in 11 seasons in the majors. Last year he was 14-10 for Atlanta with a 3.95 ERA. Breaking pitch, strike 3 call. That's out number 1. Well, Julia posed this question: who's your choice for TXU Energy power player? Looking at road trip numbers, Evan Gattis with a tremendous slash line, 3 homers, 7 runs batted in, and those other numbers. Marwin Gonzalez, 318. Luis Valbuena, 294. So you have some choices. Tweet us.
Like the on-base percentage for Valbuena.
Evan Gattis watches the throw go over to first. Altuve leads the league with 34 steals. He's been caught 11 times. Yeah, Valbuena's been doing a lot of good things. 241 for Gattis, 22 homers, 70 runs batted in. It's upstairs. Altuve was reaching out with his left hand back toward first base that time. Haven't seen him do that before. We have some early nominees there for the road trip. Of course, the Astros did a whole lot of hitting in that 15-1 win at Yankee Stadium, so there were some stats padded that night. Colby Rasmus on deck. That's rolled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gattis had the 2 home run game at Yankee Stadium, so he's hit 3 on this trip. Right now his 22 homers ties his career high set last year with the Braves. He has another month to try to further that. Double play depth for Escobar and Dozier as the throw goes in the dirt to Joe Mauer. Altuve attracts some attention. Altuve stole a base last night. He was picked off first in the 3rd inning Friday night. Herman has thrown out 5 of 13. And another throw goes over. The Astros continue to be the best base stealing team in the American League with 98. They've been caught 38 times. They've outscored their opponents this year by 98 runs. 1-2 to Gattis. It's a tough home run park here at Target Field. There's only been 1 homer in the first 2 games of this series. The Astros have a 4-game lead on Texas. The Rangers starting in about an hour. 6.5 on the Angels. So he gets back standing up. After the 80-game suspension, Santana came back after the All-Star break and had 2 very good starts. Since then, his numbers have not been good.
His last 6 starts for Ervin Santana have been especially ugly. 9 ERA in those 6 starts.
Gaddis strikes out. 2 down.
Defense here at Target Field behind Santana. Shane Robinson in left field. Byron Buxton in center. Eddie Rosario in right field. Eduardo Nunez back at third base. Eduardo Escobar at shortstop. Brian Dozier at second alongside Joe Mauer at first. And Chris Herman gets the day game start behind home plate.
Colby Rasmus steps up. The cleanup man and right fielder today. With a .227 average, he has 17 homers. He's driven in 46. That's high and it's ball 1. Twin starters continue to struggle. Last night it was Mike Pelfrey, lasting 3 2/3 innings, giving up 7 hits, 4 runs in the Astros 4-1 win for Mike Fiers. Kyle Gibson went 5 2/3 innings Friday night with 4-hit shutout ball in the Twins' 3-0 win. After the game last night, Pelfrey was lamenting the fact that he couldn't help the bullpen more. It's been 8 games in a row now for the Twins starters failing to go 6 innings. And yet their bullpen has really rescued a lot of games. This weekend in the 2 games, 8 2/3 innings of scoreless relief. 1 ball, 1 strike. Santana hasn't won any of his last 6 starts. That ties the 3rd longest stretch in a single season of his career. It's 2 balls and a strike. Astros offense has tailed off. These 2 teams have scored 557 runs, and they're tied for 8th in runs scored in the American League. The Astros, though, have lowered their ERA while their runs scored per game has been lowering, so they're still winning. Foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In fact, with a 14-12 record in August, and with today and tomorrow remaining in August, they will play at least 500 ball this month, and that'll be the 5th straight month. Every month this season they've played at least 500 ball. Rasmus strikes out, and Santana, after giving up a hit on the first pitch, strikes out the next 3 to put up the first 0 today. Minnesota Twins starting lineup now for skipper Paul Molitor. It begins with their second baseman, also an all-star like Altuve, Brian Dozier. Eduardo Escobar is at shortstop, with Joe Mauer playing first base. Miguel Sano, the exciting rookie, is the DH and cleanup man. Eddie Rosario plays right field. Eduardo Nunez third base. Shane Robinson left field. Chris Herman catcher. Byron Buxton center field.
Lance McCullers for the Houston Astros. Pitched well after coming back after that little hiatus to regroup. Making a 16 start on the season. Last time out there against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Gave up 2 earned runs in 7 innings, punching out 8. Did not walk a batter in that game.
Dozier brings a home run threat to the box leading off. He fouls it for strike 1. He's gone deep 26 times. With 66 runs batted in, he's 8th in the league in total bases with 240 and has a 245 batting average. Dead pull hitter. 3rd in the league in runs scored with 88. Pops it back, and the Astros play him to pull on the infield. The outfielders are straight away. There's plenty of room actually in the power alleys. McCullers gets a soft fly ball into the seats outside the first base line, and the count stays at 0-2 on Dozier. The Twins have averaged 4.6 runs per game in August. They've gone 13-14 this month. They're 3 games over 500. 14 games behind first place Kansas City, but a game and a half behind the second wild card team, Texas. Breaking pitch takes the count to 1-2. Has this been delightful here this weekend with the weather?
Man, we have gotten spoiled.
It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Those 2 pitches look like real good pitches. We're going to have a chance to look at our strike zone brought to you by MD Anderson. This is that last pitch, but how about the pitch before? That was a strike on the outside corner.
Upstairs, and it's 3-2. Mark Ripperger is the home plate umpire. The Astros are 7-8 in McCullers' 15 starts, and he gets a foul ball. He had that hiatus of a couple of weeks, going to Corpus Christi to get some rest for his arm, and he's already pitched more innings, 115 total, minors and majors this year, than he has in any of his previous pro seasons. And you talked about that last start, though. That was a strong one against the Dodgers. 7 innings, 2 runs. Against Kershaw. Leadoff walk for Dozier.
Take a look at the defense behind Lance McCullers this afternoon here at Target Field. Jake Marisnick, Carlos Gomez, and Colby Rasmus along the outfield. On the left side, Luis Valbuena at third, Marlon Gonzalez again at shortstop, Jose Altuve at second base. Chris Carter is on his left-hand side at first base, and Hank Conger is doing the catching.
Eduardo Escobar, the shortstop, begins the day at 254. He has 8 homers. He's driven in 40. Joe Mauer's on deck. Third baseman Valbuena in on the grass. And there's ball 1. They play him to pull on the infield. Twins will be in Houston next weekend. McCullers stepped back and looked over at first where Dozier got back to the bag. Dozier with 10 steals has made 14 attempts. It's 2-0 to Escobar. Escobar, in addition to playing shortstop, has played third, second, outfield, and DH for the Twins in his career. Now it's 3-0. Valbuena coming over.
Yeah, I think it's a good time for a talk. We know that Lance McCullers is a high-intensity type guy out there, but I think right now Lance is getting a little flustered with the strike zone he has to work with. Granted, that pitch a little bit low, catches part of the zone. But he's one of those guys that is highly excitable. Needs to control those emotions a little bit and get back in the zone.
Strike to make it 3-1 to Escobar, who's 26 years old, from Venezuela. Escobar just got out of a stretch of 8 extra base hits in 8 games, scoring 10 runs. In this series, 1 for 6 with 2 walks. And he draws a walk here to get Dozier to second base for Mauer. First and second, nobody out for Mauer.
Well, of course, we talk about how well Lance McCullers pitched his last outing at Minute Maid against the Dodgers with no walks, 8 punch-outs, and right out of the chute, he's got 2 walks to lead off this ball game.
The only time this season in a major league start he's walked 4 was at home against Seattle June 14th. We pitched 5 no-hit innings in that game and a 13-0 win for McCullers. And now faces Mauer, 271, 8 homers, 54 runs batted in. Mauer has a .357 batting average with runners in scoring position. That's 4th best in the American League. Mauer takes a strike. Joe 2 for 4 last night. He sat out the opener. Twins got back late from their game at Tampa Bay the night before, and they were facing a lefty, Scott Kazmir, Friday night, so Mauer did not play in that one. High drive to center field. Gomez backing. Runners are tagging. Gomez with a catch just short of the warning track, firing in towards second base, and it's a long out, number 1. First and third, 1 out.
They've gotten away with one there. A lot of people around here saying Joe Mauer left his pop at the Metrodome, but this one might have been a little bit closer to the end of the barrel. Got a little too quick on it, but that center cut fastball. He's glad that Carlos Gomez got under that one.
21-year-old rookie Miguel Sano carries a .574 slugging average to home plate. .284 average, 12 homers, 38 runs batted in for Sano. 0 for 3 in this series. First pitch breaking ball, and that's ball 1 to Sano. He sat out with a hamstring strain Friday night. 0 for 3 with a walk last night. That's a big month of August. It's 2-0 to him. Rosario on deck. Sano started the season at Double-A Chattanooga. He had 15 homers, 48 runs batted in there in 66 games. He's homered in 5 of his last 11.
Sorry, he's almost having as good in August as Edwin Encarnacion up in Toronto.
Yeah, he struck again today.
He's enjoying putting that parrot on his shoulder.
In for a strike. 2-1.
Okay. I'm losing sight of the strike zone here in Minnesota. I think the umpires are too.
Now 3 balls and a strike. Toronto leads Detroit 6-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning in Toronto. Encarnacion hit his 30th. And he's extended his hitting streak to 25 games now. The 3rd walk of the inning loads the bases with 1 out for Rosario. And Conger out to talk with McCullers. Brent Strom watching as Rosario comes into the batter's box. Eddie Rosario with a .271 average has gone deep 8 times. He's driven in 32. He's hit .337 at Target Field. Rosario's 1 for 7 in this series. He looks at ball 1 with Nunez on deck.
This isn't a good start, Brownie. How's that for analysis?
You got it. You're right on it. To right field, Rasmus backing on it. The runner's tagging at second and third. On a warning track, Colby makes the catch. 1-0 Twins on a sac fly by Rosario. His 33rd run batted in. Scoring Dozier and sending Escobar to third.
Again, this is another situation where things could spiral out of control quickly, but if he gets another out right here, only giving up 1 run after loading the bases on walks, that would be a successful first inning.
.22 pitches into the inning. McCullers will be facing Nunez. .269 for Eduardo Nunez. 3 homers, 17 runs batted in. He has hit the only home run of this weekend series, and that came Friday night. There's strike 1. That was the first home run by Nunez since June 22nd. Twins are 10th in the American League in long balls. Fouled, and it's 0-2.
Pretty good velocity in the first 2 pitches to Nunez. I think McCullers understands that he needs to get this out right here and get out of this inning.
Mike Fiers went 6 innings last night. Got relief help from Harris, Neshek, and Gregerson in the 4-1 win. Fouled, and it's still 0-2 on Nunez with Robinson on deck. It's been a study of contrast between these two clubs in terms of starting pitching recently. Astros starters consistently have gone 6 or more, and the Twins starters just haven't been able to go 6 for a while now. Line drive to right field. Rasmus coming in. Rasmus lays out, and that ends the first inning with 2 men left on base. Big catch by Colby Rasmus to limit the damage to 1 run on no hits. 2 men left, 1-0 Twins.
Big hit of the game. It's from last night's game. It's Luis Valbuena, who's been swinging it well this month. Last night coming up with a big 2-run double there, and we saw him have some big hits in the Yankees series as well as you're watching those. But Luis Valbuena leading the team over the last month in OBP, drawing his walks as well. I should mention he had 3 walks the other night. But A.J. Hinch talking about Valbuena today before the game, who's at third base today, and we'll see him up in this inning, saying that he gets a little home run happy, and he does have a lot of home runs, but here in the last few weeks he's really toned it down, adjusted his swing a little bit to help him just get the base hit when it's needed, and he's really come through for the team this road trip recently, guys.
Yeah, it has been a different looking Valbuena on this trip. Carlos Gomez, the former Twin, leading it off. And swinging, strike one. Gomez on a 4-game hitting streak. Begins the day at 198 as an Astro. 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. That's punched out toward shallow right center field, and that will land as a hit. 5-game hitting streak for Gomez. And the Astros get their second leadoff single in as many innings. Gomez is now 6 for 16 against Irvin Santana. Gomez has 6 steals in 8 tries as an Astro. He's aboard for Valbuena. Valbuena 5 for 17 with 4 runs batted in on this trip. Been using left field more, and he takes ball 1. Valbuena has 8 career at bats against Santana with 2 hits, 22 homers, 48 runs batted in, and a .213 average. Chris Carter's on deck. Gomez attracts some attention. Well, after the little dust-up between Gomez and Joe Girardi in New York, there was an article in today's Minneapolis newspaper about Gomez. Paul Molitor's fine with the way he plays the game. Worked with him in the Twins organization and likes the life that he brings to the ballpark.
I think anybody's going to discount the energy that guy brings to the ballpark. But Paul Molitor, one of the calmest and coolest customers in all of baseball.
Yeah.
Appreciating the other spectrum. The other end of the spectrum.
Wasn't he quiet at the plate as a hitter too?
One of the quietest.
Yeah. Way upstairs. Herman had to come out of that crouch, jump for the skies to corral that high pitch. 2-0. But those guys from Tomball can jump like that.
Good skills out there.
Speaking of guys from the Houston area, congratulations to that Pearland Little League team. It's a good run for those guys.
Great run. They played well.
It's fun to see them on TV talking about who their favorite major league players have been. They acquitted themselves exceptionally well. Runner takes off. There's a flare and goes out of play. 2-2. Incidentally, talking about the ballpark here, Target Field, there are some different ground rules which we discovered last night. There was a ball that bounced fair inside the left field line, and then the next bounce was off that ledge where the railing is, just in foul territory, and it is in play. And that wall out there, that light colored limestone wall, is also in play,
which is rare.
So the ball hits fair and then bounces off that wall. Who knows where it's going to go, but it's still playable.
Yeah, do not give up. But that's where we saw that ball rolling across. But what's rare is when a ball hits up in this region off the brick wall, it's still in play. It can bounce back into the field of play.
Liner goes foul the other way. 2-2 to Valbuena. Santana has given up 11 homers in 59 innings. The batting average against him is .286. His game time ERA was 6.05 for his first 10 starts as a Twin. Fouled out of the mid of Herman. The Astros are 27-37 on the road. The prospect of a winning road trip is a big one for them. Gomez gets back ahead of that throw. They have not had a winning road trip since their second road trip of the year. They went 8-1 to Seattle, Oakland, and San Diego. That was in April. Another throw to first drives Gomez back. They had a 4-4 road trip in June to Colorado, Seattle, and Los Angeles Angels. Since then, they've really been dismal on the road. Flared foul, but this road trip has brought them to two cities with contending teams, New York and Minnesota, and they've really done a nice job.
It's all been pitching. It's amazing the timing of these guys. Have been pitching really well throughout the course of the season, but here in this month of August, with the offense kind of taking a digger in the middle of it, stepped it up even more. It's just tough to do.
Well, Bueno rocks one to left field. That sends Robinson back, and Robinson on the track, jumps right in front of the wall for the catch. Here's the tag, and into second base, Gomez. Alert base running on a long first out.
I'm not going to lie to you. I thought Valbuena got a little more of that. I thought he had a chance of getting out of here on a day game in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I wonder if Valbuena's feeling the same way. Sounded great off the bat, jumped. He's been going the other way extremely well. I think Shane Robinson was even surprised that he had more room out there. Super Mo, brought to you by Mattress Firm, shows you the play that Shane Robinson made. He thought he was robbing that from the wall, ended up stealing it from the warning track. Good jump by Carlos Gomez. That's a good read right there, too, because the entire play is in front of you. Go back, tag up, take off if the throw's on line, head back to first. If not, you make it into second base like he did.
Chris Carter looks at ball one. At 182 with 17 homers, he's driven in 49 runs. Carter 1 for 8 on this road trip. Got a hit as a pinch hitter on Friday. Time called. Now Gomez getting into scoring position on that deep drive. That shows the alertness. Carter 232 with runners in scoring position, now trying to drive him in. Carter is 1 for 5 with a homer off Santana in his career. Takes that one for a ball, and it's 2-0. Jed Lowry getting a rest today. So that puts Marwin Gonzalez at shortstop, Valbuena at third, and gets Carter into the lineup. 2 balls, 1 strike to Chris. He's a .215 career hitter against Minnesota. Pick off at second. Gomez back.
Good old-fashioned daylight play. Dozier puts that hand out there. Let Santana know, if you turn and throw, I'll be there.
Twins are doing what they can to keep Gomez close.
Gomez is just messing with him right now.
He really is. He is taking Santana's attention away from the hitter.
Oh my gosh.
That one, a foul ball right over the Twins dugout. 2-2. Tomorrow night at 7:10, the homestand opens at Minute Maid Park. Dallas Keuchel 15-6 with a 2.28 ERA, second best in the American League, versus lefty Vidal Nuno. For Seattle, he's 0-2 with a 288. The Mariners have decided not to start King Felix Hernandez. Initially, he was announced as the starter for Monday night. He's not going to pitch in the series at all. Tuesday night at 7:10, it's Scott Feldman and Roenis Elias, another left-hander.
Minute Maid Park may have left a bad taste in King Felix's mouth. That third of an inning he gave up.
Exactly.
Woo.
Wednesday night at 7:10, it's Scott Kazmir and Taijuan Walker. Thursday will be an off day, and the Twins are in town next weekend. 6-game homestand starting tomorrow, and then a long road trip, and a big road trip. The Astros will go to Oakland for 3, the Angels for 3, Texas for 4. In tight to Carter. Now it's 3-2 to Chris. .228 for Chris. A year ago today, 33 homers, 78 runs batted in.
Woo.
Strike 3 call. That's the 4th strikeout for Santana.
The old trick 'em 3-2 fastball. Remember, back on that 2-0 count, they threw Chris Carter a slider. 3-2 count, may have been looking for the off speed, didn't break, locked him up.
Hank Conger, a .218 hitter, has gone deep 8 times with 21 runs batted in. He swings, and there's strike 1. Switch hitting Conger has a .322 on base average. His numbers from this left side of the plate have been terrific. .284 average for 74 at bats, 6 homers, 14 runs batted in. That gives him a .376 on base average, .595 slugging from this side of the plate for Conger. He and Santana, both former Angels. Santana won 12 games for the Halos in 05, 16 more the next year, and then in 08 he had another 16 victory season, and he was an all-star that year. He's won as many as 17. That was in 2010. In for a strike, 0-2. So the Twins went shopping and spent $55 million for 4 years on this 32-year-old veteran who had thrown 196 innings for the Braves last year with a 3.95 ERA. Another pickoff at second, and that one got him. Gomez may have hurt his right hand on the pickoff at second base. Gomez gets up slowly. No runs a hit, nobody left. 1-0 Minnesota. 1-6 play and at the top of the inning with Gomez being picked off trying to get back to second base.
And absolutely no reason for a base runner to get picked off at second base with 2 outs. See that right hand going into the foot of Escobar, the shortstop. And that's just injury to insult right there. Gomez has now finally made his way onto the field and is out in center field. But for me, 2 outs, you're already in scoring position. Absolutely no reason for there to get picked off at all at second base. You're in scoring position. Plant it down. Get ready for a swing, contact, score on the base hit.
And it appeared he jammed his right hand into Escobar's shoe. Now Shane Robinson, 1-0 Twins, take strike one. Robinson at 261 has no homers. He's driven in 16. McCullers with the breaking pitch takes the count to 1-1. That one goes to right field, sending Rasmus deeper and deeper, and for the catch. 1 down.
A reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game. That is going to be brought to you by, of course, Miller Lite.
Chris Herman comes to the plate. Chris, a 172 hitter with 2 homers, has driven in 10. He and his wife are going to be doing some home shopping in Houston next weekend. He pulls that one foul, strike one. Chris was born in Tomball in November of '87. Has been living in Florida, but planned to set up shop in the Houston area. He was a 6th round pick in '09 by the Twins. He checked his swing. The appeal went over to the third base umpire, who indicated he did check. That's Doug Eddings. And it's 1-1 rather, to Herman, who's played other positions. 1-2 now to Herman. He's, in addition to catching, he's played right field, left field, DH, and first base. And he showed us a drawing of Nolan Ryan. It was terrific. Bounce to first. Carter has it. Herman went to Alvin Community College, and he did that drawing a while back. It was autographed by Nolan. Very well done. Talented guy.
Skills.
Yeah. Byron Buxton is the batter. Buxton was leading off Friday night. He's been moved into the 9 spot last night and today because of that 205 batting average. 2 runs batted in. Paul Molitor wanting to take some pressure off him. There's ball 1. He has 3 walks and 30 strikeouts. Buxton made 2 tremendous running catches, shoe-top catches, reaching down last night, but offensively struggling to find it. He's had 78 major league at bats. And grounds one fair. Pass valve went up the left field line into the corner. Backhanded Marisnik. He slips. And the throw is wide. A double by Buxton. His 4th. First hit by the Twins.
It's got to be good to see if you're the Minnesota Twins fans. Buxton, you know, already can go get it in the outfield, as you've talked about, Browning. But at the plate, we've had some question marks with some of the that he's had to deal with. We've seen some good pitches being thrown to him right here. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He does a good job of turning on it.
Dozier has a man in scoring position with 2 outs. He drew a walk and scored the Twins run in the first inning. That's strike 1 for McCullers. It's 1-1. And Conger catching again today. Jason Castro was placed on the 15-day disabled list yesterday. Max Stassi arrived on the scene. Hank probably will catch again tomorrow night, A.J. Hinch said. Then maybe Tuesday night, Scott Feldman's start. Might be Stassi's start behind the plate. Yet to be determined. Foul back, 1-2. It's a tough loss, though, for the Astros, not being able to use Jason Castro for a 15-day period. Of course, rosters will expand on Tuesday, September 1st.
Even so, just losing a guy like Castro behind home plate for 15 days is an extensive amount of time. You just hope that in those 15 days he gets back to 100% and is able to get back behind home plate.
Ground ball, and the shortstop plays it. Marwin Gonzalez over to first for out number 3. After 2, it's 1-0 Twins.
Postseason run by reserving your 2016 season tickets today. Visit astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. I can't even hold this up without laughing. But let's talk ballpark food for a second. As I'm at the State Fair Classics, I showed you some of this food earlier in the broadcast. But here in Minnesota, they have the pork chop on a stick. I'm not really sure why it's on a stick. I've been told maybe it's good for walking around the State Fair, but everything's on a stick at the State Fair. Oh, I'm going to try this out, guys.
Give it a shot, Julia. Excellent job. Good report. Strike 1 to Hank Conger. She gives us insights we're unable to get from anyone else, Plummer. Quit laughing.
No, that's a very good point. You and I can't go out there and enjoy that stuff. Somebody better.
No. Somebody has to do it. One ball, 2 strikes to Conger. He was at the plate when Gomez was picked off. So Santana has given up leadoff singles in each of the first 2 innings. Conger would like that trend to continue. Now, with 2 strikes in the count, the shift is on. Third baseman Nunez over on the first base side of the bag. It's a punch out, and that's 5 for Santana.
Seeing a pretty effective Irvin Santana here early on against the Astros. All 3 of those pitches that you see on the right hand side are working effectively for him right now. That was a good changeup.
He struck out 8 in his first start of the year, July 5th at Kansas City. That was in 8 innings. Jake Marisnick will try to get something going for Houston here. Nunez even with the bag for Jake. Up under his chin for ball 1. With 6 homers, 25 runs batted in. He carries a .231 batting average. Jake is 2 for 7 with an RBI in this series, starting all 3 games of the series. In for a strike, 1-1. George Springer began his minor league rehab assignment last night for Corpus Christi, and he went 1 for 4 and played right field. Good reports afterwards. check swing call goes Marisnick's way, and it's 2-1. Bill Miller, the crew chief, is the umpire at first. In for strike two, and it's 2-2 to Marisnick. He went 2 for 4 last night and drove in a run. Taps that one foul. The Mets lead the Red Sox 4-3. They're in the top of the 7th in New York. Noah Syndergaard started for the Mets against Wade Miley. David Ortiz hit his 28th homer for Boston. In tight, 3-2. Cleveland has jumped on the Angels and leads 8-1. They're in the top of the 7th inning in Cleveland right now. Marisnick strikes out. That is 6 punch-outs for Santana.
Time for our Geico quote of the day, and it's Manager of the Year, Rodney Linares, talking about Springer. He's matured a lot because the conversation's turning a little more serious. He's talking about pitches and certain things he did tonight. He comes in and he's like, you know, I should have hit that breaking ball out. My timing's not there. For me, it's all about him getting healthy and getting his timing back. As soon as he has it, he's gone.
Okay.
And by gone, I'm sure it means here.
Sounds good. Jose Altuve singled on the first pitch of the game. Taking all the way. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Altuve now has reached base in 27 consecutive games. That's the longest stretch of his career. That one floats foul. Mauer over for a look, but it's out of play, and it's 1-2. And that's the longest by an Astros since Michael Bourne reached in 28 straight games, spanning the 2010 end of the season and the beginning of 2011. Two and two. So the Astros trying to figure out Santana. They've had the 2 leadoff singles, but nobody has reached third base in the early going against the right-hander. Infield very much playing Altuve to pull. And he goes the other way with a foul ball. In that Indians-Angels game, 8-1 Cleveland, top of the 7th. Jared Weaver has taken a pounding. He's given up 8 earned runs in 6 innings.
I think he's going to be hollering about his outfield again today.
Oh boy.
A couple of sun balls dropping for hits, runs.
Foul back. Well, one dropped over the fence by Abraham Almonte. That was home run number 3 for the Indians outfielder.
Those are a little bit tougher to defend.
Yes, they are. Josh Tomlin's pitching for Cleveland and pitching well today against the fading Angels. They would be at 500 with a loss today. Rolled out to shortstop. Escobar coming in for it, and the throw just nipped him. It's a 1-2-3 third for Santana, a 1-0 lead for the Twins.
registered now for the opportunity to purchase tickets to potential 2015 Astros postseason games at Minute Maid Park. You won't want to miss the excitement of October baseball. Sign up at astros.com/postseason tickets. Vince McCullers back to work, pitching on extra rest like all of the Astros starting pitchers are right now. And he'll do it again, as A.J. Hinch has already announced. 2 will be starting through next Friday, and Lance is not one of them. But he did say, we've all come up with a good plan to attack these off days. So he's feeling pretty good about the way he's performed with the extra rest. Also, he's got his curveball. We've seen his breaking ball and how successful he can be with that. But he's been working on a slider, guys, with that time off. He's trying to mix it in. He said, teams know about my curveball, so I've got to change it up on him.
Fly ball to Jake Marisnick in left field. Escobar's retired on the first pitch here in the 3rd inning. Well, that's interesting. Here's another note for you, Julia. And this report just in from the Minnesota State Fair. They have gummy bears on a stick.
Gummy bears?
Seriously, they do.
How big are these gummy? I'm trying to visualize this.
Huge, gigantic gummy bears on a stick.
Really?
Yeah.
It's too bad they don't sell those here.
That is a shame. Joe Mauer comes up. He hit a fly ball to center field. There's ball 1. What else would you like on a stick?
A series win.
Okay.
They have walleye on a stick somewhere.
Yeah, they have that.
How about a fried s'mores on a stick?
Sure.
They can do that.
But do y'all know why everything's on a stick? Have you learned this?
It's less messy.
Just so you can walk around.
They don't want to waste plates.
Well, that's what I heard. I'm just telling you what the locals have told me.
Well, just think about the trash receptacles. You can really save on space in trash receptacles by not having plates.
Well, what if you get a splinter in your pork chop?
Well, then that's your problem. There's a certain technique you have to master.
If your hands are a little dry, do you put pine tar on the stick?
You could do that
to hold it a little bit better.
Line shot by Mauer into the seats, and it's 2-2. He peppered that one, and he is an outstanding opposite field hitter. Former catcher who continued to have concussion problems, so he was moved to first base. And Mauer's a 6-time All-Star with a career OPS of .860, but a strikeout takes care of Mauer's at bat here in the 3rd inning, and it's number 1 of the day for McCullers.
McCullers settling down a little bit, more aggressive in the strike zone, and that's kind of it's in that slurve range almost. We've seen that good breaking ball from Lance McCullers.
Yeah, a little bit later break to that one. Miguel Sano takes strike 1. He walked in the 1st inning. The Orioles and Rangers are just underway at Globe Life Park in Arlington. No score yet. Top of the 1st inning. Derek Holland on the mound for the Rangers. 1 ball, 1 strike. Miguel Gonzalez is pitching for the Orioles, who are fading now. One ball and 2 strikes. The Twins have the day off tomorrow, and they'll welcome the Chicago White Sox Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then head for Houston to open the series with the Astros Friday night. Foul tip, and Sano strikes out. That's 2 in a row for McCullers in a 1-2-3 third. 1-0 Minnesota. Addison Rasmus for Houston. Marwin struck out looking in the first. Urban Santana settling in for the Twins. He's allowed just 2 singles, both leading off innings in the first and second. He's retired 5 in a row now, with Gonzalez coming around for the second time. So, base hit into right field on the ground there for Marwin to take his hitting streak to 5 games now, and a third leadoff single in the 4 innings for the Astros. Now they'll try to build on that with Gaddis following.
Get the right part of the order up. You'd like to see them move these leadoff runners in. Marwin swinging a good bat, taking some good passes at fastballs he's seen on this road trip.
Evan Gaddis looks at it at strike 1. He struck out in the first inning. Gaddis caught a couple of bullpens yesterday just to be ready in case an emergency catcher is needed. In the dirt, Herman with the block of it, 1-1. And before the game today, A.J. Hinch was on the field hitting ground balls to Carlos Correa. He continues to be improving from his leg injury. The left hamstring area is affected and might be in the lineup tomorrow night against Seattle. Ground ball third, and of course everybody wants Carlos Correa in that lineup, including Carlos Correa, but caution is being exercised. It's really difficult this time of year. The games remaining are getting shorter and shorter. Just 32 games left for the Astros, counting this one. But the big picture is really what the Astros are trying to look at to make sure that Carlos is healed before he comes back to the lineup. There are certain tests that he has to pass before they will clear him to play. This happened with Jose Altuve when he was banged up earlier this season. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a certain protocol that the training staff has, and until that protocol has been met, he's not going to be in the lineup. He is available. It's thought he's available anyway for possible pinch hitting today. Struck him out looking. That is 7 punch outs for Santana.
Make memories at an Astros ball game with family-friendly activities at every Sunday home game presented by Kroger. The next Kroger Family Sunday is September 6th when the Astros take on the Twins. For more information, visit astros.com/Sundays or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. There could actually be 2 positives in keeping Correa out. You got to remember, too, that he has not played into the month of September in his career. So, yes, he is resting that hamstring, hopefully getting it back to 100%. But at the same time, you know, it's a little bit of a break on the body, too. Get him nice and refreshed for the stretch run.
So you think about getting Correa and Springer back in the lineup perhaps this week. Out to center field, Buxton. 2 outs. Marwin went back to tag. That'll be Gomez. That could be really quite a week for the Astros if they can get both Springer, and that's not a given at all. But perhaps toward the end of the week, because George is going to need to play more games and then take days off and play games again. But he could be back at some point. That would be the best case scenario. And then Carlos, if the Astros can get both of them back in the lineup, that could be a very important week for them.
Well, that would change the entire dynamic of that lineup.
Gomez looks at ball 1.
This guy right here would be one of those guys for me that would be affected by Springer and Correa getting back into the lineup. It would put Gomez in that 6-7 spot down in the order and let him maybe take some big hacks down there, drive in some runs, not take all the pressure him trying to get on base and doing something extra here in the middle of the order that he's been trying to do since being traded over.
Interesting to look on stats like we just saw for pitchers the 3rd time through the lineup after the Astros recently played Tampa Bay, and their whole structure is based on trying to keep that starter from facing guys 3 times through the order. They go to their bullpen early. Check swing, and it's 2-1. Well, the Twins have been doing that not by design, but out of necessity in recent games. They would love to have Mr. Santana give them a whale of a long outing today. They do have a day off tomorrow. Runner going. Here's the throw from Herman. It's perfect. And out on the clock stealing Marwin Gonzalez. No runs, a hit, nobody left. 1-0 Twins.
Standings here. September's around the corner, but it's never too early to start scoreboard watching. Astros out in front in the AL West. 4 games back is the Rangers, and the Angels 6.5 games back. They are currently trailing the Cleveland Indians right now. And you get a good look at the wild card with the Twinkies in there. 1.5 games back of the Yankees. Guys.
Would you like a fried Twinkie on a stick, Julia?
Oh, yes, I would.
Lance McCullers goes to work. 1-0 Twins. Here's ball 1. Rosario, the batter. He delivered the sac fly in the first inning. The bases were loaded with 1 out on 3 walks. And Rosario got the ball to right field, scoring Dozier. Altuve stretched out, but it was on by him and into right field. Rosario with hit number 2 for the Twins. He gets it through the shift.
Last time the Twins had a leadoff man on, he ended up scoring. It was in the first inning.
Nunez hit the fly ball, and Rasmus caught up with it for the final out in the first inning. Colby coming in, and that line drive wound up in his glove. Might prove to be a big play if the Astros are able to turn things around with the bats today. That's ball 1. Big month ahead with the 25 games within the division for the Astros remaining this season. They'll have 3 with the Twins at home. They will go to Arizona for 3, the last 3 games of the season. And all the rest of the games will be within the AL West. McCullers takes a walk, and he'll be visited by Conger. Keuchel's corner tomorrow night. Hey, Blummer, you'll get to see it at last.
Looking forward to it.
As you'll be doing the next series at home on your extended road trip. Yeah, that's been a fun addition during the season. In sections 105 and 106, you get a signature Keuchel beard giveaway and the exclusive Keuchel's corner T-shirt. Go beard or go home.
I love it. Great promo.
We'll have to get you one.
Beard or a T-shirt?
Well, Dallas won't give you his beard, but we could find another one for you. You can look like Dallas.
That's all I'm looking for.
It's 2-0. So we hope for a good turnout tomorrow night. And the Astros will be celebrating Mike Fiers' no-hitter with a pregame ceremony. Word is Mike's going to be getting a gift. It's a shot to center field. Gomez with the catch. Nunez hitting into out number 1. Here's what's coming up. 3 with Seattle Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights at 7:10, and then the Twins Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and on to that long road trip. 10 games on the road.
It's nothing like a mid-September road trip within the division as you're battling for the lead in the West, huh?
Exactly.
That'll test them.
Home and home series with every club in the AL West from now on out. That will be a determining factor in what happens. Robinson, the batter, he hit a fly ball to right. Runner going. Conger with a double clutch. One hops the throw. There's a stolen base by Rosario. His 10th of the year.
And that is to be expected with Conger behind home plate. Only thrown out 1 runner all season long.
They had to backhand that breaking ball in the dirt. The Twins are 10th in stolen bases in the American League. Ball 1 to Robinson. Altuve's near the bag. And it's in for a strike. 1-1. Deal of the season is Tuesday night with the Astros playing Seattle. A double play Tuesday presented by Coca-Cola. 2 View Deck 2 tickets for only $22. Ground ball third. Valbuena looks it back to second. Rosario holding while Robinson is thrown out. 2 outs, and it's Herman batting next. And then Blummer Wednesday night is $1 hot dog night.
Big night. You got to show up on those nights, don't you?
A lot of people do. They just love to dine that way at the ballpark. Herman grounded out to Carter at first earlier. Strike to Herman. In the dirt, it's 1-1. McCullers pitched last Sunday against the Dodgers. The Dodgers got a first inning run on a sac fly. There was a wild pitch that got Chase Utley from second to third. And in the 5th inning, there were 2 wild pitches. And A.J. Ellis scored the second run. At that point, Dodgers led 2-0. McCullers wound up with a no decision. The Astros won it 3-2 in the 10th. Pick off at second.
Why not? Everybody else is doing it.
The Astros starting pitchers have had a number of games like that here over the last 2 or 3 weeks in which their club has not been scoring. And it's important for them to hold the line, not let the game get out of hand. That's what Lance did last time out. Herman with a swing for strike 2. McCullers is the first pitcher in Astros history to allow 2 runs or less in 11 of his first 15 starts. In the last 10 years, only 3 other American League pitchers have done that. Jared Weaver, James Paxton, and Jared Parker. Two and 2. The Astros with the 4-game lead. That's what they had at the end of May. Herman strikes out. There's the throw from Conger to Carter. And it's strikeout number 3. No runs, a hit, and a man left through 4. 1-0 Minnesota.
The Force is arriving in Houston on September 6th as Minute Maid Park transforms into the world of Star Wars. Come dressed as your favorite character and watch as the Astros take on the Twins at 1:10 p.m. All fans with a Star Wars ticket will receive an Obi-Wan Kenobi bobblehead. For more information, visit astros.com/Star Wars or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Chewbacca has to take that archaic form of transportation.
Chewy looks disappointed. We go to the 5th inning, and it's 1-0 Twins. Carlos Gomez, the batter. He was at the plate when Marwin Gonzalez was thrown out trying to steal. There's ball 1. Susan Pittman has chimed in on Twitter to answer Julia's question about why so many foods are offered on a stick. Easily transportable and easy to eat that way. 2-0. Susan says it's common in other countries.
Come on.
2-1 to count. We have correspondence all over, Plummer.
That's good news.
Bill 7 reports that Preston Tucker just hit a 2-run homer for Fresno. Gomez works the count to 3-1. Michael Moreno wants some of these donuts brought back.
Who would?
Okay, Michael. 3-2.
We could just put all those on a stick and bring them to him.
Yeah. They look pretty good. In the air foul. Joe Mauer goes over. Out of play for him. Gomez stays at the plate with a 3-2 count. A.J. Reed has hit 33 home runs this season in the minors.
Bring him up. And his stick.
He hit a couple last night. Home run on a stick.
I like it.
Rangers 2, Orioles 0. Top of the 2nd in Arlington, Texas. Derek Holland has the lead against Miguel Gonzalez. Line to left center field. Buxton is heading for it. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Gomez into second base. Buxton hits the cutoff man. And there's a leadoff double. Gomez is 2 for 2. It's his 4th double as an Astro. Well, 4 times in 5 innings the leadoff man has reached.
Could this be the inning they actually push across the leadoff man? Good job by Carlos Gomez, staying short and quick to that baseball and driving right through it, getting that ball into that left center field gap.
Gomez had 20 doubles with Milwaukee. He has 24 for the season now, 4 of those with Houston. He sets the table for Valbuena, who hit a warning track drive to left. That's ball 1. Fresno lost last night at Omaha 9-5. Matt Duffy hit his 18th homer. In for a strike, 1-1. Tyler Heineman was doing the catching. Now Max Stassi with the Astros. There's the spray chart on Valbuena.
Yeah, it's these hits over here that are special. It tells me he's been swinging the bat well when he's driving the ball to that left field side. Lets the ball travel, get deep. Saw him have a pretty good poke at one that first at bat, flying out to Shane Robinson deep left field. But I think with him going the other way is what got him that double yesterday against Pelfrey when he threw him the off-speed pitch up out over the plate. Mentally as a hitter, if you're thinking driving the fastball the other way, it's easy to adjust to a hanging breaking ball in the middle of the plate.
Struck him out. That's 8 for Santana. Chris Carter is next. He struck out looking in the 2nd. The Blue Jays are pummeling the Tigers 9-2. They're in the top of the 9th at Toronto now. Josh Donaldson hit his 36th home run in his strong MVP bid season. Carter pops it up.
Dozier coming in, dodging around the umpire, and the shortstop Escobar makes the catch. 2 outs. And Conger will bat. Conger struck out in the 3rd inning. John Singleton his 20th home run of the year last night for Fresno. Strike to Conger. Corpus Christi won at 8-6 over San Antonio in Corpus last night. We mentioned Springer was 1 for 4. Reed hitting a couple of home runs. Kemmer hit his 18th. Fouled away 0-2. So these clubs are getting ready for the playoffs soon. And the Astros have 4 teams that have clinched playoff spots. In the dirt. Gomez is edging off second, and Santana had his eye on him. 1-2. The Astros have been shut out 3 times in their last 9 games. They've scored more than 3 runs in a game 3 times in their last 12. But they've gone 8-4 in the 12 with the excellent pitching they've had. Dozier gets underneath it. Now comes in. Mauer gives way to him. And in the 5th, the leadoff double is wasted by the Astros. No runs, a hit, and a man left. 1-0 Minnesota.
Box taking us inside the box score. Looking at Lance McCullers' curveball usage, whiff percentage, and chase percentage. Number on the left is the first 14 starts. That number on the right is his last start against the Los Angeles Dodgers, where he had a lot of success. No walks. He had 8 punch-outs in that game. You can see why he's using it more. You get more swings and misses, more chases on it. Going to be more effective with it. Julia talked about the slider he's trying to mix in there too. Hopefully that's a part of the mix and the future repertoire of a young Lance McCullers. Used it a couple times already. We talked about maybe getting on the side of that first breaking ball.
2 balls and a strike to Byron Buxton here in the home 5th inning. Buxton doubled to left in the second, just inside the third base bag. Breaking pitch comes in to even the count at 2-2. We had another order from back home. As long as we're taking orders for food on a stick, Bobby Dynamite wants a win on a stick. Buxton strikes out. Strikeout number 4 for McCullers. Bobby will be firing up the train for tomorrow night.
Sure will. It'd be nice to get that thing moving. Good snap on that. Curveball from Lance McCullers.
Keeping his club identity. Walked Dozier in the first inning and then had 2 more walks. So bases loaded, 1 out. Dozier scoring on a sac fly by Rosario. Valbuena fields the 2-hopper. Throws out Dozier. Well, McCullers threw a lot of pitches in that first inning, but he's making up for that with some of these early outs, like he just got a 1-pitch out for Dozier. And Escobar will follow. Escobar walked in the first, and on the first pitch he flied to left in the third inning. So 67 pitches, a very manageable number at this stage of the game for McCullers. Yankees lead 8-4 in the bottom of the 6th in Atlanta. Nady Baldi on the mound against Julio Teheran. Teheran took a drubbing, 8 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings. Stephen Drew hit his 16th homer. In for a strike to Escobar, and it's 1-1. Jacoby Ellsbury hit his 7th. Chase Headley his 10th for the Yanks. Yanks are in a dogfight with Toronto. Toronto's winning big, and the Yanks will need to win to stay a game and a half out in the AL East. They have 7 games left. Toronto and New York, just like the Astros and Rangers. Backhanded Carter for out number 3. Good play by Chris Carter to keep it at 1-0 Minnesota through 5.
This moment in history is brought to you by M.D. Anderson. On August 30th, 1990, the Boston Red Sox had a 6.5 game lead in the AL East. The Red Sox GM Lou Gorman felt they needed some bullpen help. He decided to trade for Larry Anderson of the Houston Astros at the time. The Astros negotiated for a variety of prospects in the Red Sox organization until they settled on a minor league infielder who went on to have somewhat decent career for the Houston Astros by the name of Jeff Bagwell.
Here's a bunt by Jake Marisnick up the first base line. Irvin Santana tags him. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 6th inning. 1 unassisted play for Santana. He leads it 1-0. Yeah, that Bagwell trade worked out to give the Astros their top slugger of all time. They've been talking about the Astros were looking at maybe getting a left-handed pitcher from Boston.
I think they asked for Mo Vaughn too.
Okay. Larry Anderson did pitch well during that stretch drive for the Red Sox. Jose Altuve is 1 for 2, shortening up and taking ball 1. 4 hits for the Astros, 2 for the Twins. Houston has stranded 2. Minnesota has left 4. The Astros have had 1 pickoff and 1 caught stealing. Into center field, Altuve has another multi-hit game. Hit number 156. And we look back at the Bagwell trade and what it meant to the Astros. 15 years, 4 All-Star appearances, 3 Silver Sluggers, 449 homers, the all-time club lead, 1,529 runs batted in, and the MVP award in '94.
And in Lou's defense, I don't think anybody anticipated the numbers that Bagwell will put up as far as Hall of Fame type numbers. I think the Astros expected him to be good, but probably far exceeded all of the Astros scouting department when they traded for him too, to put up those kind of numbers.
Marwin Gonzalez is 1 for 2. He singled through the right side. That's way outside for ball 1. Tampa Bay leads Kansas City 3-2 at Tampa Bay. They're in the top of the 8th inning right now. Brandon Guyer hit his 6th homer. Kevin Kiermaier, number 7 for the Rays. It's 1-1. The Astros unable to solve Santana today. Santana brought an ERA of 6.05 into this game. In his last start at Tampa Bay Tuesday, he went 2 2/3 innings, giving up 8 hits and 5 runs. Totally different Santana today. For his first 3 starts as a Twin at Target Field, his ERA was 9.77. He throws to first base and drives back Altuve. Twins general manager Terry Ryan is scouting their AAA club right now. Fly ball to center field. Buxton broke back. Now he heads in, and that will loop in over the shortstop Escobar's head for a single. There was a false step there for Buxton, and Gonzalez gets a single. He's 2 for 3.
That's a peach, huh? That might be the one that turns things around for these Astros. Off the end of the bat, outfielders reacting to the big swing. Take that first step back. You saw Buxton right there open up, take that step backwards, and then has to come charging in, and not even his speed can catch up to it.
Now 2 men on for Evan Gattis, who has struck out both times. Big at bat in this game, and the Astros down 1-0. Gattis takes it, and it's ball 1. Buxton made 2 very good catches, running into right center field, reaching down for ankle top catches last night. On one of them, he traveled 66 feet, and his speed was measured at 20.1 miles per hour. Rangy center fielder. 2 balls, no strikes. Rasmus is on deck. It's 2-1. Foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Twins were 49-40 at the All-Star break, but then they lost 15 of their first 21 games after the break. They got swept in a 4-game series by the Blue Jays in Toronto earlier this month. Gattis out to left center field. Escobar out, and Buxton gets there for the running catch. 2 outs.
You really need anybody else out there? As much room as this guy covers?
Wow.
And he ran right in front of Shane Robinson right there, who should have been on that play. Look how far he's got to go for this thing. A snow cone action at the end of it, too.
There's some oohs and ahs from the crowd on that catch by Buxton. Colby Rasmus is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fly ball to center. Santana with ball 1.
There's that snow cone action.
Two 2-0 to Colby Rasmus. Left-handed hitters are hitting .303 against Santana this season. Rasmus is 0 for 13 lifetime against him. He yanks one to right field. It's hooking and foul, but that is something to remember. Big swing by Colby, but it's 2-1.
Colby's a good fastball hitter. I was actually surprised that Santana decided to challenge him there. 2-0. Missed his location completely, and you can tell Colby was sitting on the same pitch. Just got a hair too quick.
Now 3 balls and a strike. Twins do not have anybody working currently in their bullpen. Carlos Gomez is on deck. He's 2 for 2. 3-2 to Rasmus.
There's the off-speed pitch and hitters count. But now you're 3-1. You just got a changeup from a guy. Got his fastball blistered. Does he back it up with another changeup, or does he try and challenge him right here with a fastball?
He struck out Rasmus. Number 9. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. 1-0 Twins. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. And by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. 1-0 Twins. Bottom of the 6th inning here. Twins got their run in the first on a sac fly by Rosario. Joe Mauer leads it off in the home 6th inning. Astros fans alongside Twins fans here in Minneapolis. Mauer is 0 for 2. The Astros have out hit the Twins 6-2. No errors in the game. Each club has left 4. Showing bunt. Mauer takes ball 1.
Go for it.
Chuck Poole has chimed in on the Jeff Bagwell trade. Fouled away. 1-1. Chuck was in Astros media relations at the time of that trade, and he was in the Astros clubhouse as Larry Anderson packed his belongings from his locker. Larry looked at Chuck and said, "That's all they could get? A Double-A third baseman for me?"
I'd like to retract that statement, please.
In for a strike, and it's 1-2 to Mauer. Nationals 7, Marlins 4. Bottom of the 7th inning in Washington. Steven Strasburg started. He gave up 7 hits and 4 earned runs in 4 innings. Jason Worth has homered. Derek Dietrich hit number 10 for the Marlins. Fouled, and it remains 1-2 with Sano on deck. Rosario due up 3rd in the inning. The Nationals are really under the gun. They trail the Mets by 5.5. Mets are really looking strong with that pitching staff getting extra rest. Fly ball near the line. Marisnik over into foul territory. Out of play for him.
Man down. Mauer down.
There are a few of those jerseys around here.
Oh yeah. Bum Phillips.
It looks like Bum Phillips, doesn't it? Facial resemblance.
Pretty good.
Mauer strikes out. That's number 5. Miguel Sano walked in the 1st inning. He struck out in the 3rd. Pat Neshek really did a great job working to him last night, striking him out. That was in the 8th inning last night. He fouls that one back. There's strike 1. The Angels lost at Cleveland 9-2. Josh Tomlin going to 3-1, beating Jarrett Weaver. He's now 6-10. The Angels have slipped back to 500 at 65-65. They led the Astros at the All-Star break by a half game.
Probably seems like years ago in Los Angeles.
You know it. Angels were 48-40 at the break. Foul back by Sano. A ball and 2 strikes to the young slugger.
See if McCullers decides to elevate the fastball in the strike zone where Sano has some holes, or he goes to that breaking ball where he's had success with the strikeout.
Two and two.
Made the attempt up there, maybe raise the eye level of Sano before throwing a breaking pitch right here.
Ooh, he almost got it. And he's thrown a lot of them at the right-handed batters, and they've still missed inside.
This one kind of shot out of the hand of Lance McCullers.
Well, Sano, one of those homegrown twins, and they have been known for that down through the years. Jim Suen, a local columnist, wrote an interesting column today in the Sunday paper in which he said the Twins don't spend enough money That's the most popular sporting thought, but he says that's wrong. They spend too much money. Interesting. Foul back, 3-2. His point is that their 4 highest earning players this year are Joe Mauer, Phil Hughes, Irvin Santana, and Ricky Nolasco. And then he says, who are the Twins' most disappointing players? Nolasco, Santana, and Mauer, and perhaps Hughes. They certainly seem to have struck gold in Sano, though.
Well, it's a small market mentality too. I mean, if you've got money to spend, you better be careful where you spend it.
And that's his point. In tight, Sano draws a walk, his second of the game. Number 4 for McCullers, 3 of those coming to the first 4 batters.
Be social with Root Sports, and we will thank one lucky fan by giving them a better view of the game with a new 40-inch HD television. Just follow us on Twitter at Root Sports SW now through tomorrow, and look for your chance to win. Visit rootsports.com for official rules.
Eddie Rosario has delivered the only run of this game with the first inning sac fly. He singled to right in the 4th. There's ball 1 to him. As Jim Sue column says, Miguel Sano already is the Twins' best player. The Twins signed him for $3.15 million. And he might turn out to be one of the best bargains in franchise history. One ball, 1 strike to Rosario. And he says knock $60 million off the Twins' payroll this season, and they would be a better team. Interesting.
Now, who is he replacing?
Well,
you know, who are the replacements?
Yeah, that's what we don't know. They don't have the ready starting pitchers in their farm system to replace these free agent starters they signed, apparently. Although Jose Barrios might be about ready. 1-2, and he's the pitcher that Terry Ryan is scouting right now at AAA.
There you go.
The problem with bringing up a youngster like Barrios is the innings limit. And that's what the Astros and the Mets and some of these other clubs are managing with their young pitchers here in the month of September. Strike 3 call at strikeout number 6 for McCullers.
That was filthy. Backdoor curve. Rosario gives up on it, and sure enough, as soon as he gives up on it, it breaks back right over that outside corner. Pitcher's pitch.
Yes. Nunez is 0 for 2. Rasmus made an excellent catch on his line drive to end the first inning and leaving 2 Twins on base. Robinson's on deck. Inside ball 1. Just thinking about that breaking ball he threw to Rosario for strike 3, and he's thrown a number inside to right-handed batters, but it's so different. It's got to be so different for a pitcher throwing that pitch to a left-handed hitter with nobody out there where the ball starts, as compared to throwing it at this guy's body, we'll say, and hoping it breaks over the inside part of the plate.
The different target is what you're talking about, but that backdoor pitch is such a good one. Especially the breaking ball, because you see it as a hitter jump out of his hand and you figure it's going to stay off the plate. With that good spin rate that McCullers has, able to bring it back.
Nunez chased that one. 1-2.
Yeah, that was a good old-fashioned guessing game right there by Nunez. He said, if I get a fastball, I'm hacking.
No matter where it is.
Exactly. He's ready to fire. That one took off.
Still some life on that pitch for McCullers. Reaching 92 offerings for the day. And tap foul. Well, Vince Scully is coming back for another year for the Dodgers. Great news for everybody.
67 years with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Can you imagine that?
No. I hope I lived to 67.
Outside. 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Nunez. Astros have Gomez, Valbuena, and Carter due up in the 7th inning. Twins are 1 for 22 with runners in scoring position in this weekend series. And for the season, they're hitting .282 with runners in scoring position. That's smoke to left field. Marisnik all the way back. That is a 2-run homer. Nunez with number 4 to make it 3-0 Minnesota. And Nunez has hit both homers in this weekend series.
That time he guessed right, got a pitch in the zone, didn't chase it. That was a cookie. He did not miss it for anything. Hanging breaking ball in a 3-2 count. As soon as he let it go, Lance McCullers knew it.
Shane Robinson takes strike 1. That's only the 5th home run allowed by McCullers this season. It's 1-1. The Twins are 10th in the American League in hitting long balls. That's number 123 for them. The Astros are the stingiest in allowing long balls. 2 balls and a strike. That 2-run homer puts a totally different spin on this ball game now. From 1-0 to 3-0. It's only the 3rd hit for the Twins today. 2-2 to Robinson. Nunez not only ended a long home run drought Friday, but followed it up today. There's Chad Qualls with 2 long balls in this 3-game series for Nunez, giving him 4 for the year, and now 19 runs batted in. This will trickle and stay near the line but go foul. '89 innings in the majors for McCullers and only 5 home runs allowed. The Mets down the Red Sox 5-4 in New York. Tyler Clippard got that victory in relief, beating Robbie Ross. Terry's Familia with his 35th save. Robinson hit that one twice.
Tough to do.
It is tough to do.
Kind of like shooting 2 aces in 1 round of golf.
Who did you say did that today?
Brian Harmon. PGA Tour event today, hit 2 aces.
That's remarkable.
It is.
3-2 now. Three pitches for McCullers. Qualls warming up, so this may be his last hitter. Line shot to center. That's in for a single. Robinson's aboard. In number 4 for the Twins, bringing up Herman.
The Twins have had an answer for Lance McCullers. This is really the first time for me in the times I've had to watch Lance McCullers where he's actually gotten squared up quite a bit. For whatever reason, they're picking the ball up out of Lance's hand. But if he's made a mistake out over the plate, they haven't missed it. And again, only 4 hits on the day.
Ball 1 to Chris Herman, who's 0 for 2. Buxton's on deck. It's 2-0 to Herman. Herman transferred to the University of Miami as a junior after attending Alvin Community College for one season in 2008. Cubs and Dodgers play tonight in Los Angeles. With the shift on, here's Marwin Gonzalez taking care of the third out. 2-run score on 2 hits. Nunez with the big 2-run bomb makes it 3-0 Twins after 6.
Name that Astro. It's brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Here are your clues for this Astro who went from Pittsburgh to Laramie and back. First coached under Bobby Valentine. They coached in the World Baseball Classic, but not for USA. Tweet us your best guess. We're going to name that Astro later in the broadcast, guys.
Yeah. Okay, that should be good. 3-0. The Twins lead it. Carlos Gomez leads it off here in the 7th inning. He has a single and a double. Puts it in the air. Joe Mauer coming over, and Herman is there as well, but they will not have a play on it, and it's strike 1. The Twins with a big 2-run bomb from Nunez have lengthened their lead, while Santana has given up 6 hits in 6 innings with no walks, 9 strikeouts, a new season high for him. Last time he struck out 9 or more in a start was August 13th, 2014. That was against the Dodgers when he was with Atlanta. Fly ball out to Buxton in center. 1 out for Santana. Twins are getting a right-hander ready in their bullpen. Luis Valbuena is 0 for 2. Warning track fly ball to left and a strikeout. Blue Jays 9, Tigers 2. The Blue Jays are now 74 and 56. Showing bunt. Valbuena looks at the third baseman Nunez come in, and he takes a strike. One and one. Josh Donaldson hit his 36th homer off the loser Alfredo Simon in that game. Edwin Encarnacion his 30th. Kevin Pillar his 9th. Russell Martin his 17th. Donaldson now has driven in 106 runs. Encarnacion has 91 for the hard-hitting Blue Jays. Blue Jays just recently surpassed the Astros for the Major League home run lead.
Those guys are just taking BP every night.
Out to right field. Rosario almost dead in his tracks. 2 outs.
Follow the Astros all season with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, StatCasts, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet.
2 outs and Chris Carter the batter. Carter's 0 for 2, a strikeout looking and a pop to short. That one hit him. And Conger will bat. Third hit batsman of the year for Santana. Apparently Trevor Plouffe had a problem with being drilled last night in the 7th inning.
Which was laughable.
Yeah. He has been hit in both previous games of this series. He's not playing today. Don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. Hank Conger is 0 for 2. A strikeout and a pop to second. There's ball 1. But if a pitcher did want to retaliate, we'll say, this would be the situation. You don't want to put a man on base, but probably near the end of your outing, right? Rip foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. You've got 2 outs, nobody on.
Yeah. Chris Carter, really?
Yeah, so there's that question, but
I don't know. I might have opted to go for the punch out. I don't know how many messages can be sent between these two teams who are going in, and Astros going for the AL West pennant.
Right.
Minnesota Twins going for that wild card in the American League.
You got it.
But if you're going to hit somebody in retaliation for quote unquote throwing at a guy for hitting a foul ball home run, I think you've got some internal issues you need to work out.
There are far bigger walleye to fry.
Very well said.
Mark Burley's now 14-6 after winning for Toronto today. Tap foul, still 1-2.
Burley's had a bit of a resurgence.
Really has.
14.
An ERA of 3.53.
Well, you can have an ERA of 5.6 and have that record with the offense he's got.
That's true. And what a turnaround for the Blue Jays. The Astros swept them in Houston earlier this year. They're a totally different team now. Way upstairs, it's 2-2. The Tigers are now 10 games under 500, 60-70. Texas 3, Baltimore nothing, top of the 5th in Arlington. Derek Holland for Texas today. Time is called.
Remind me to put Irvin Santana on my please do not pitch on getaway day list.
Okay.
Good grief.
In the dirt, and it's 3-2.
Tell you what, you get a 3-2 fastball right here and you're Hank Conger and you unload on it. You make this game real interesting real quick. 2-out lightning.
Foul tip strikeout number 10. Twins lead at 3-0. The crowd rising to sing God Bless America.
pitcher's day is done, and the Astros will go to Chad Qualls, right-hander out of that Astros bullpen. Making his 49th appearance. He's got 4 saves under his belt. Whip under 1. The opponent batting average at .211.
He pitched Friday night in the Astros 3-0 loss, 1 hitless inning with a walk. Coming in with the Twins up 3-0 in the 8th inning, and now as he enters, it's 3-0 Twins in the home 7th, and Buxton leading it off. Byron 1 for 2. Ground ball double inside the third base bag in the 2nd inning. That's strike 1. McCullers today in 6 innings allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, walking 4, fanning 6. Shot off Qualls' leg. It goes out to Marwin Gonzalez, who makes the play. A 1-6-3 redirected grounder by the right leg of Chad Qualls.
That's why you stick your leg out there as a pitcher. I get it now.
Well,
sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah, that's the way to make the play.
It was a rocket, too. I'm not sure if he had much time to even get out of the way. Johnny on the spot. Marwin Gonzalez makes the play.
Qualls is good. It's not that easy to do, is it?
No, salty veteran move.
Brian Dozier's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. There's strike 1 to Dozier. McCullers threw 108 pitches, 64 strikes. One and 1 to count. Twins bullpen is busy. Santana has given them 7. And he has thrown 109 pitches so far. It wouldn't be surprising if that's the end of his day. The 109 is a high for him in a game this season. He had thrown 108 twice. Two balls and a strike. Texas still leads Baltimore 3-0 in the 5th at Texas. Well, the Rangers are hopeful of whittling a game off the Astros' 4-game lead today. To right field, Rasmus backing. Bangs off the wall. Picked up by Gomez. Dozier into third with a triple. Fourth triple for Dozier.
Ball's rocked. That's a tough play here at target, because that overhang in right field. Ball well struck. We know Dozier's got plenty of pop. 26 home runs on the year, but as Colby's going back, you got to find the wall, keep your eye on that baseball as it comes flying underneath that overhang. Tough play.
It hit his glove right as he was hitting the wall. Now the infield comes in. Escobar the batter. Escobar 0 for 2 with a walk. That's hit number 5 for the Twins. Foul ball, and there's strike 1. So the Twins with 5 hits have hit for the cycle. Single, double, triple, homer, and then one more single. That's the 63rd extra base hit for Dozier. Fly ball out to center. Gomez going for it. A long run here. That ball over his head. One hops the wall, goes out of play for an RBI double for Escobar, and the Twins lead 4-0. 23rd double for Escobar. That's his 41st run batted in. A.J. Hinch is walking to the mound. That Dozier triple, giving him 63 extra base hits, puts him in the Twins record book, the most by a second baseman in franchise history, passing Chuck Knobloch in '98. And with a score of 4-0 Minnesota, lefty Oliver Perez is on his way in. We're on our way out for this.
Keiko's Corner is a dedicated section for fans to show their support for the Astros ace every time he takes the mound. You get a ticket, beard, and a Keiko's Corner Go Beard or Go Home t-shirt for Monday's game versus the Mariners. For more information, visit Astros.com/Keiko's Corner or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Brownie?
Thanks, Julia. Keuchel is up tomorrow night. Right now, it's Oliver Perez on our AT&T call to the bullpen. In 54 games, he's 2-2, Blummer.
He is. He's putting up good numbers. The number you like to see is that batting average against on that left-handed side, a .188 against Oliver Perez. Pretty good strikeout number for 32 1/3 innings pitched also.
Yes, it is. And Joe Mauer is that left-handed batter. Mauer is 0 for 3. Bullpen remains busy for both these clubs. Perez deals, and there's ball one. Perez walked 3 Yankees in the 1-0 loss in New York, and the score was 0-0 in the 9th inning when he came in on Monday. Then he left the game, and there was a game-winning sac fly off Chad Qualls by Carlos Beltran, 1-0 New York. Perez didn't feel that he was missing that much, but the Yankees were in a take mode Monday night. Now it's 1-1 on the Twin, Joe Mauer. And Perez had not had that kind of control issue since he joined the Astros. It's 2-1. In fact, Perez had not allowed a run, an earned run, in 28 straight games. Astros got him in a trade with Arizona August 7th. Rockies 5, Pirates 0, bottom of the 9th in Pittsburgh. Mauer works the count his way, 3-1. Jorge De La Rosa started for Colorado. He went the first 6 shutout innings. Walt Weiss has used 4 relievers since De La Rosa came out. A strike to Mauer makes it 3-2 now. Both bullpens are very active right now. That was a turn back towards second by Perez. The ball's hammered into center field. A hit. Gomez comes up, fires to the plate. It's drifting offline, and the run scores. 5-0 Minnesota. On the Mauer RBI single. That's the third straight Twins hit here in the 7th inning. Triple-double single in order from the Twins.
Yeah, the usually reliable bullpen is not having a good afternoon. Good piece of hitting. That 3-1 pitch to Joe Mauer was a nasty fastball in that outside corner. But the beauty in that is that Oliver Perez has to come back and throw another strike in that 3-2 count. He did, and Mauer was up for it.
The Twins are warming up number 50, Casey Fiend, in their bullpen. Miguel Sano is the batter. Sano 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. He rips a line drive, headed for left field and deep. And Sano hits a 2-run homer. Number 13 for the rookie. 7-0 Twins. 40 runs batted in for Sano.
He's got that home run trot thing down, doesn't he?
Well, he knew it was out, and he hit it a lot with the left hand, Blummer. He just is a very strong young man.
Extremely strong. He should be about 6'4", 260, but we know he can crush all across the middle part of the zone. And guess where this is? Right in the middle and down. All he had to do was drop the head on it, and with his pop, that gets out in a hurry. Things are spiraling out of control here in Minnesota.
7-0 Twins. Rosario the batter. Fouls the slider for strike one. Rosario is 1 for 2 with a sac fly. Well, the Twins with 2 home runs today. Got a 2-run shot from Nunez in the 6th. Now Sano adds to the damage. 4 straight hits. 0-2, and in fact they have hit for the cycle here in this 7th inning. Triple, double, single, homer now from the Twins consecutively by 4 batters.
We got that going for him.
It's 1-2. And Chad Qualls in 1/3 of an inning allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Twins have won 7 of their last 9. Rosario strikes out, 2 outs. Now it's Nunez. Nunez with a 2-run homer, 1 for 3. Astros in the 8th have Marisnick, Altuve, Gonzalez due to bat. Paid attendance today is 28,877. That's just about the average for the Twins at home this season. 28,243 their average for the previous 64 games.
Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. It's a young man at the play right now, Eduardo Nunez. Got himself a 3-2 hanging breaking ball from Lance McCullers and rocketed it off the facade of the second deck here at Target Field. Second home run in the series for Nunez.
It's 1-1 to him. Kyle Seager is homer today for Seattle. That's 3 in 3 games for Seager, 21 for the year. Austin Jackson hit his 8th. And the Mariners are leading at Chicago over the White Sox 4-3. 2 balls, 1 strike. They're in the top of the 7th now. Melky Cabrera has a hit for the White Sox. Quintana, the starter, didn't fare well for them. In tight, 3-1. We were hearing something interesting before the game from Dick Bramer. Twins television play-by-play broadcaster about the Ervin Santana 80-game suspension. It's been changed now, the agreement between the owners and the players, and Santana would not be eligible for postseason if the Twins made it. It was not the case before this year. Marwin Gonzalez takes care of out number 3. And the Twins erupt for 4 runs in a cycle 7th inning. They lead it 7-0.
Time to name that Astro. Brought to you by your local Honda dealer. And here are the clues we gave you. We went from Pittsburgh to Laramie and back. First coached under Bobby Valentine. And coaching the World Baseball Classic. All right, so here's some of your tweets. Some of your best guesses. Let's see if anybody got it. Got one from Phil Garner there. Joaquin Andujar. Nope. Gonna say, oh, here we go. I was gonna say, did we have anybody get it right? But Art Howell is the right answer. I like the hashtag on that tweet too. There he is. He's watching the game right now too. He grew up in Pittsburgh. He went to college in Wyoming, but he debuted with the Pirates. And his first coaching job was with the Rangers under Bobby V. He's also the hitting coach for China in 2013, that World Baseball Classic. Hi, Artie. We know you're watching.
7-0 Twins. The Astros come up in the 8th. Casey Fiend on the mound. There's strike 1 to Jake Marisnick. Marisnick is 0 for 2 in this game. Ervin Santana in 7 innings allowed the Astros 6 hits, no runs. Didn't walk anybody. He hit a batter and he struck out 10. 1 ball, 1 strike. Santana started this game with an ERA of 6.05. Now Fiend 4-5 with a 3.18. In this series, Twins relievers have worked 8 2/3 innings, and they have not allowed a run to the Astros. Twins bullpen has a 0.72 ERA for the previous 10 games, and they've been worked hard. 1-2 to Marisnick.
I guess you ride them out while you can and hope they sustain it throughout the season.
Well, yeah, Paul Molitor hasn't had much choice, has he? But in Fiend, he's gotten some good work, and the other guys in the bullpen have pieced it together. He's got Perkins back now as closer. There's a strikeout. And he's been able to fill in, meanwhile, with Kevin Jepson while Perkins' back was bothering him. So Twins could be getting better if they get this off day in and then come firing out and have a good series against the White Sox.
There's always that hope. But you really like to see those starters push a little bit deeper into ball games.
Altuve is 2 for 3. He looks at ball 1. Santana could be getting his first home victory of the season as a Twin as a result of his work today. The Astros would like to make it at least a little more difficult than 7-0. Get some hitting going. Altuve pumps one in the air to right field. That's in for extra bases. It rolls to the wall at the 365 sign. Altuve has a double and a 3-hit afternoon. 24th two-base hit for Altuve.
Keep swinging it, little fella. Got to be greedy as a ball player. Sometimes the games aren't going to go your way. It doesn't mean you give away at bats. Right here, Altuve got a fastball up out over the plate, drove it the other way. Looked like he surprised Rosario out there too. Rosario thought he might have had a beat on it, and all of a sudden had to make a beeline to the wall.
That's 157 hits for Altuve. Ian Kinsler of Detroit started the day with 157, and he was the American League leader. Marwin Gonzalez is 2 for 3. And it looks like Max Stassi comes out to the on-deck circle. Stassi. Evan Gattis due up next. That was strike 1 to Marwin.
Not a bad idea. Give Gattis a little bit of a rest. Give Stassi an opportunity to get an AB in before he goes home.
A hit to right field. Stop sign at third for Altuve on the single by Marwin Gonzalez. What a throw to the plate by Rosario. Oh, he can air it out.
Houston Methodist is going to help us get to know Max Stassi. Out of Woodland, California, 4th round pick in 2009 by Oakland. Came over in that Jed Lowry trade. Pretty good bloodline.
It's a lot of catching in that family. Max is 24. He's been with the Astros briefly in 2013 and also briefly last year. It's a 3-hit game for Marwin Gonzalez. He and Altuve each with 3. And the Astros now have 8 hits as a team. It's ball 1 to Stassi. 2-11 at Fresno for Max. 13 homers, 43 runs batted in. He grounds to second. There's a flip by Dozier. On the turn by Escobar. 4-6-3 double play. No runs, 2 hits and a man left for the Astros. 7-0 Twins. The big Dutchman with a huge hook. Pitched for many years for the Minnesota Twins. 11 seasons with the Twins. On his way to the Hall of Fame. Also pitched for other clubs. And 79 Pirate team. He was in the bullpen for them at the end of the year. And with the Twins, he had a 3.28 ERA. 2,035 strikeouts for the Dutchman. Try to hit that curveball, Blummer.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to because it didn't look like it would be any kind of fun to try to.
Member of the 3,000 strikeout club. The applause is for Vivian, who is celebrating her 100th birthday here today. Vince Velasquez is on the mound for the Astros in 11 games, 7 as a starter. He's 1-1 with a 3.65 ERA. Shane Robinson leads it off in the home 8th, and there's strike one on the fastball at 95. Robinson's 1 for 3. Oliver Perez in 2/3 of an inning, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. It's 1-1 for Vince Velasquez, who went to AA Corpus Christi to make the transition from starting to relieving and also get some rest, work some bullpens. He's 23 years old, from Pomona, California. 2-1. We learned in New York that he is ambidextrous, and he plays catch left-handed in the outfield sometimes. And he has pitched in high school left-handed. So he said if needed, he could pitch left-handed in a game. 2-2.
So apparently he's got some control.
Evidently so.
It's going to go all Billy Wagner on us.
And Billy broke his right arm, and that's how he became a left-hander when he was very young. For Vince, it was different. He was totally right-handed, and he would play basketball with his dad in the driveway or wherever they went to play basketball, and always dribbled with the right hand, always went to his right. And his dad said, no, you have to learn how to go to the other side. You're too predictable. His dad got some duct tape and taped his right arm to his body. And he became a left-handed dribbler at that point for a while to learn how to do that. His mom came outside and said, what are you doing? And the response from his dad was, just go back inside. We'll take care of this.
Good times at the Velasquez home.
So that was the beginning of the transformation of Vince to an ambidextrous athlete. Popped up. Colby Rasmussen right field. 1 out. Now Herman comes up. Herman 0 for 3 in this game, but he's catching a shutout. He's grounded out twice and struck out. The Astros will have Rasmus, Gomez, Valbuena due up in the 9th. Infield shifts around for Herman. There's ball 1. Yankees are blitzing Atlanta 17-6 in the top of the 8th. Fouled away, and it's 1-1. Yankees just had a 9-run 7th inning.
They're trying to make up for that 3-game set the Astros threw at them. Some angry bats.
Inside, and it's 2-1. Let's see who the beneficiary is of all that run support. Nate Eovaldi, but he gave up 8 hits and 5 earned runs in 5 innings.
How'd they make contact off him?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, we thought when he faced the Astros in New York, we were seeing one of the well-pitched games of the year against Houston. We were, but evidently he wasn't able to maintain that today. 3-1. He was really dealing. In the air, and Valbuena drifts out into shallow left field. Marisnik's calling him off. 2 outs. Bert Blyleven, what an amazing career for Bert. 22 seasons. Two-time World Series champ. The American League in strikeouts. 242 complete games. Hall of Fame enshrinement in 2011 for the Flying Dutchman, or the Frying Dutchman, if you wish. Did he deep fry everything also? That's the trend here in Minnesota. He fried a few bats. Buxton comes up. He has a double in 3 trips. That's ball 1 to Byron Buxton. Chase Headley hit his 10th homer for the Yankees. Stephen Drew, number 16. Jacoby Ellsbury, number 7. Yankees have 17 runs on 19 hits. Julio Teheran started. He gave up 8 earned runs and 4 1/3 for the Braves.
It's a tragic night at the ballpark in Atlanta last night.
Oh, that's terrible.
That was a terrible story.
Yeah. Fans suffered an unfortunate fall. Hit by the pitch. Buxton on the 2-0, and he will head to first base. So we've had an exchange of hit batters in this game. Carter was hit in the 7th inning by Santana. Now Buxton heads for first, and Dozier's the batter. Dozier has a triple. He's 1 for 3 with a walk, and he has scored 2 runs. Remember the old Lindsey Nelson? Did you ever see the Notre Dame replays on Sunday morning?
No.
Notre Dame football. Well, they would edit the entire game down to about an hour. So only the meaningful plays would be on TV for that replay, and they would always say things like, after an exchange of punts, we move to the 3rd quarter. That kind of thing. After an exchange of hit batsmen, we move to the bottom of the 8th.
I like it.
No balls, 2 strikes. White Sox have tied Seattle. It's 4-4 in the top of the 8th inning. St. Louis 4, San Francisco 2, bottom of the 3rd. Ground ball goes foul, and it's still 0-2. John Lester of the Cubs, Blummer, has allowed 39 stolen bases this year.
It's a left-handed pitcher. Shouldn't happen, should it?
No.
But I think he's one of those guys that, I'm not sure if I can say never throws over to first, but he does not like throwing the ball to first base at all.
No, and you know, according to reports, he has a mental block about it, so he won't do it. And that manifested itself in that playoff game, the wild card playoff game.
That's a very good point.
With Kansas City runners just started taking off on him, and they were down by 4 going to the 8th inning, wound up winning the game. And teams apparently have continued to do that when he's pitched for the Cubs this year. Down on a knee, here's Marwin feeding Altuve for the force play to end the 8th inning. We move to the 9th, 7-0 Minnesota. Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. You can't get it on a stick. We go to the ninth inning, 7-0 Twins. And it is rookie left-hander O'Rourke coming in. Ryan O'Rourke for Minnesota. First time we've seen him in this series.
Making his 20th appearance. Come after you with a fastball, slider, changeup mix. He pitched in 14 1/3 innings on the season.
He came up to the big leagues in July for the first time. Twins drafted him in the 13th round in 2010. He's from Massachusetts. Colby Rasmus leads it off. He is 0 for 3. That's strike one to Rasmus. O'Rourke made his major league debut with a perfect ninth inning against Baltimore July 7th. He's been at AA and AAA this year. No balls, 2 strikes. Casey Fiend in 1 inning allowed 2 hits, no runs with no walks. He struck out 1. Twins pitchers have not walked anyone today, and they have fanned 11 Astros. The Astros have been shut out 9 times this season. That's on through and to right past a diving Brian Dozier. Rasmus 1 for 4. Hit number 9 for the Astros, but they have been scattered. Carlos Gomez has 2 of those 9 hits, a single and a double. O'Rourke in the minors had 97 walks, 336 strikeouts, and 192 appearances. Pretty good numbers for the lefty. He deals and it's strike 1. The Astros got a single from Altuve on the first pitch of the game by Santana. Then Santana struck out the next 3. He whiffed 10 in 7 innings. And now the Astros here in the 9th inning find themselves trying to avoid being shut out for the 4th time in the last 10 games. Little tap brings O'Rourke over. That's 1 out. Rasmus to second base.
Stay tuned after the game as Bart Ennis and Art Howe break down all the action from today's game, plus interviews from the clubhouse and much more on the Astros post-game show presented by Houston Methodist.
Texas leads Baltimore. It's 4-0 Texas in the bottom of the 6th inning. Luis Valbuena is 0 for 3. Chris Carter's on deck. The Mets got their 72nd win, beating the Red Sox 5-4. Valbuena takes, and it's ball 1 to him. Paul Molitor has 4 righties and 4 left-handers. The Yankees now lead the Braves 20-6 in the bottom of the 8th.
Are they going for the extra point?
They're going to put the backup quarterback in at this point.
My goodness. In the honor of preseason football. Wow.
Better stop blitzing. That's not good form. 1-2. Joe Girardi should call off the dogs, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I hope they're not showing up the other team.
No. Wouldn't be prudent.
Just wouldn't be Joe Girardi baseball.
Fans have had a nice day here in Minnesota. Beautiful weather, and their Twins are up by 7. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They played well at home. A win today would give them a 40-25 record here at Target Field this year. They're trying to square their August record at 14-14. Valbuena checked his swing. The appeal went down to Doug Eddings. It's 3-2. Seattle 5, White Sox 4. They're in the top of the 8th at U.S. Cellular. Seattle will then head for Houston for the opener of the series tomorrow night. First of a 3-game set. Dallas Keuchel and Vidal Nuno. Valbuena takes a walk. 2 men on for Chris Carter now. Carter's 0 for 2 and he's been hit by a pitch. Well, Nelson Cruz is having quite a year, so he will be among those Seattle Mariners of concern to Dallas Keuchel and the Astros pitching staff starting tomorrow night for the next 3 games. Big numbers for Cruz, a .315 average, .599 slugging percentage, and a whole bunch of bombs. 39 to lead the American League. Carter fouls it. There's strike 1 to him.
Cano's numbers are getting a little bit better too. I think that average around 280 now.
Yeah, 283. You're right. Cruz is the total base leader in the American League. In for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Carter. But the Mariners now are looking for a new general manager, and there are a lot of questions about what's going to happen with their team for next year. Will Lloyd McClendon stay as the skipper? That's rocked to center field. Buxton back. It's a high flyer for Carter. That's a 3-run bomb. And Chris Carter connects. Number 18 of the year. The Astros get on the board, trailing 7-3. $52 runs batted in for Carter. A no-doubter over the 4-11 sign to straightaway center.
Now, when they calculate high leverage situations or late inning numbers like the sabermetrics guys like to do they count home runs like this from the 7th inning or later into that high leverage or clutch situation? Because sometimes you're going to be in games like this that kind of don't matter.
That's true.
I mean, it's nice that you're going out there still having aggressive ABs and driving it out. It looks good on the stat sheets, and you have to be greedy throughout the course of a game. You can't give up any at bats. But it's always interesting to me when guys just start racking up home runs and RBIs. But I'm sure for the psyche of Chris Carter, that was a much needed home run.
You bet. That's 18 for the year. 52 runs batted in for Carter. He hit a bomb. Conger looks at ball 1. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the Astros avoid being shut out. They hit their 175th home run of the season. Been a tough day for them to try to break through, but they've done it here. They now have 10 hits. Conger looks at it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, you can speak to that. Okay, you've been shut out all day. It's 7-0 in the 9th inning. You get 3. A couple guys get hits in the inning. Is that helpful? Is there anything going on for a player if he gets hits in a game like this that might carry over? Conger with a deep drive. Caught by Buxton. 2 outs. What do you think?
I mean, you're always looking out for number 1. You got to get your numbers, and that's what I mean. That's basically what I'm trying to say with you can't give away any ABs, and there's not too many professional hitters that would let that pitch right there go by. It just so happens that Chris Carter has enough pop to drive it out to center field. But on the bonus side, the Astros are not going to get shut out.
First homer by Carter since July 28th. 42 at bats since he hit that last one. Jake Marisnick fouls it. There's strike 1 to Jake. He's 0 for 3. Well, the ball is carrying pretty well off 3 bats anyway today on the home runs by Nunez, Sano, and Carter in this game. And now 0-2 on Marisnick. There had been 1 homer in the 2 night games of this series prior to this one. Ground ball in the hole and on through. A hit for Marisnick. He got his hit on the 0-2 count. So did Carter on his home run coming on 0-2. Jake's 1 for 4. Paul Molitor will make a change here. 7-3 lead. And it'll be Altuve coming up. 3 for 4. O'Rourke will be leaving the game after 2/3 of an inning. So far he's given up 3 hits, 3 runs, and also Marisnick is his responsibility at first. We'll be back in a moment. A 3-run homer from Chris Carter, and their 3rd hit of the inning, a single by Jake Marisnick, prompted a change. Our AT&T call to the bullpen shows you right-hander Trevor May. He's pitcher number 4.
A chance to look at his numbers. 36 appearance, got a 500 record. He's got some starts on the season. That's why he has 103 1/3 innings pitched. He's got 96 strikeouts in that time.
In his 19 relief outings, his ERA is 1.80 with 5 walks and 23 strikeouts in 20 innings. Good numbers in relief for the 25-year-old right-hander. Drafted by the Phillies in the 4th round in 2008. The Twins got him in the Ben Revere trade after the 2012 season. Jose Altuve is 3 for 4 in this game. 2 singles and a double for Altuve. Marisnick is not being held on first with the 4-run Twins lead. Marisnick takes off, and there's a fly ball to left field. That's chasing Robinson way back at the wall. Altuve hits a 2-run homer, and it's 7-5. Number 11 for Altuve, his 4th hit of the game, and the Astros have gone to work here in the 9th inning with a 5 spot.
I guess these guys aren't ready to get on the plane yet.
That's 54 runs batted in for Jose Altuve. And now Marwin Gonzalez.
Did you see Trevor May's reaction? Watch the pitcher. Oh!
Yeah.
He put his hands up in self-defense because that was so loud off Altuve's bat.
Foul by Marwin, the 8th Astro to bat here in the 9th inning. He has hits his last 3 times up. 5 runs on 12 hits for the Astros. They came into the 9th without a run. Now Glenn Perkins is beginning to work in the Twins bullpen. Marwin takes a close one, and it's 1-1.
I think that's what Paul Molitor anticipated having happen to his bullpen.
No serve. O'Rourke was tagged for 4 earnings in 2/3 of an inning. 1-2 on Gonzalez. Twins fans are up, hoping that May can close it out. May got a hold here Friday night in the 3-0 win with a hitless inning, punching out 2. Marwin checked his swing, and that was verified by Doug Eddings on appeal to third. 2-2. Max Stassi's on deck.
Just find a way on base. Keep this train moving.
Rangers lead it over Baltimore 4-0, bottom of the 7th in Arlington. That's another ball, and it's a full count now on Marwin Gonzalez.
Good AB, probably worked himself back into a fastball count.
Ripped foul first base side. Still a full count to Marwin. Struck him out to end it. The Astros had quite an uprising, a 5-run 9th inning, but May is able to get the final out after Altuve hit the 2-run homer, the second blast of the inning. And Minnesota takes 2 of 3 from Houston in this series. Final Minnesota 7, Houston 5.